Hi, my name is Rajana, and in today's video, we are going to learn about CSS grid. What is CSS grid, and what are the practical? We will look some practical applications of the CSS grid, and this is just a basic CSS tutorial video, and it's for the beginners. So let's dive into the code section.
Before we dive into the grid, we should be clear about some technical terms in while using with the grid. Okay, and first is like grid lines, and you can see over this one, two, three, four. Okay, these are the grid lines. Okay, so grid lines are basically horizontal and vertical lines, just dividing the rows and the columns. Okay, so this is considered the first, second, third, fourth. Okay, this is fourth line. And similarly, in terms of the row, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if you are using a right to left, okay, because I am using left to right, so this will be considered as a 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you are using RTL, right to left, is this line would be considered 1, 2, and 3 and 4. And this is very uh, important concept, because I'm going to explain this. It is very useful concept. And so what is the grid? So next is the grid track. Okay, so grid track, what is the grid track is basically the space between the two grid lines, like this one. Okay, this line first and this line second, third. Okay, this is third, the space, the whole space between containing this box and this gap here. Okay, so this is known as a grid track. Okay, so and the third concept you should remember is you need grid cells. So each individual items inside the grid is known as a grid cells. So whatever elements which are inside the grid is known as a grid cells. Okay, and grid area, so grid area is like a rectangular, which is consist of any four grid cells. Okay, this this whole is considered as a grid area. Okay, any four or maybe more, just it grid area is like having four grid lines, consist of the four grid lines, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So by combining these grid lines 1, 2, 3, and 4, we can make a grid area. So this is also a very useful concept, and you will see. So, and this is grid, as you know, this is grid rows, this horizontal, yes, and this is column. Okay, so there are three columns right now and two rows. And so last is like a grid gutter. So what is this grid gutter? This grid gutter is just a space between the two cells. Okay, this part, whole this part is known as a grid gutter. Not considering this line, the only this part is known as a grid gutter. Okay, and so let's start with the example. Okay, so I'm just going to first of all remove this, and you can see there is a cell. Okay, just not okay. Now for coming to the basic tutorial, display, you have to set the display grid. Okay, and nothing has changed because we have to change a lot. So this container over here is displayed as a grid. Okay, and to set the rows, means set the column, we would divide them into 150px, 150px, 150px. Okay, and same with the rows. Okay, and not I'm just going to make divide into two. And as you can see here, we have item either six elements which are considering the class item, which are having the class item. Okay, sorry. And as you can see here, these are how grid columns, template columns and so this would be a 150 px in the width. Okay, 150 px, 150 px and the height. Okay, and we saw earlier, we saw the space between them and how can it be achieved. The gutter is been achieved by grade gap. So you have to specify the gap when giving it is a 1 rem. Okay, and you can see here there is a gap between them. So this 150, what this 150px 150x means, this is dividing into three columns, and all the three columns are of 150px width. Okay, so uh, we we can do it in the shorthand. When the shorthand syntax is for, like, we can use the notation repeat. How many times first argument would be like how many times it would be repeat, and what is the unit itself, and the same output is achieved. Okay, same goes for the rows also. And repeat to 150px. And okay, so coming so this is the very basic example. So now we are going to move forward, and we are going to use the responsive lens. Means what about the units of the width, the units of the width and height. So actually I need to see an example. You can see these are not responsive. Okay, They- and I need to take this off, and on fr, on fr, on fr, sorry, we need a width to the container. Let it be 700px. Okay, and as you can see, this expands and collapse according to the skin. So this is part is responsive, and of course you can use uh, in percentage also. 33%, 33, sorry, oops. You can see here. Okay, but the difference between one and this fi unit. So first of all, what is a fi unit? So basically fi is stand for the fraction. Okay, it just acquires the left out space or in the column or row. Okay, so it does not include, like, it does not behave like a percentage. So my example would be like, we can also mix the units. So 80px. Okay, and 35% and 1fr. As you can see here, this is 80px and 35% of this whole container, on this is a 1FR. It's just taking the white space, means whatever space is left over for this container, it's into one. Okay, so as you can see, in it is becoming more responsive. Okay, so as you can see, we can use multiple units. Okay, CSS units like px, percentage, 1FR. Okay, so mostly I say that you use FR whenever you're working with the CSS grids, because it's too friendly with means it is great to use with it. Okay, so now coming to, let's position these elements. Okay, what about positioning them as these elements, because the same can be achieved in the table. What uh, the table, there is also a row and columns, and the same can be achieved. What is the difference between them and this? And so you can see now, positioning an element. uh, so first of all, I would use this notation: repeat 3 and 1 for. So let's consider is okay, 1, 2, 5, 6, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now what if I wanted this one to be here? Okay, so what I would do is, there is a syntax for this, like item 1. Let's make it item 1, and item 1 be like grade row start. Remember I told you about the grid lines. Okay, so this is considered as a line 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I want this to be here. So I have to look this line 1, 2, 3. So it's the starting of the 2, means it starts from the 2 and ends here in the 3. Okay, so grid row start should be 2, and grid row end should be 3. And you can see here, the one that was above here has come here. Okay, so what I want this one to be here. Yes, so there is another syntax for the column, handling the columns. Okay, grid column start. Okay, and so now coming to the logic part. This is 1, 2, in terms of column. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so this, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. So if I want this element to be here, so what should be the grid column start? It should be 3, and of course, yes, n should be here 4. Okay, so 3 and grid column and should be 4. And as you can see here, yes, it's working. And suppose you want 2 to be here, okay, in place of 6. So same we will be following. And what I'm gonna do is there is another shorthand for achieving this same result, and I'm going to explain that. So item 2, so for item 2 we will do with it with the shorthand. Okay, so there is a shorthand like grid row. Okay, so grid row, it's 2 divided by 3. So what it represent is, okay, so sorry, spelling is wrong. So okay, so this is equivalent to this. Okay, so it's like a start 2 and end 3. It's they both are equivalent to this, so it's a shorthand. Okay, and let's see the output, and you can see the 2 has come down, and let's say I want here to be here. Okay, the same thing for grade column. Let's make it 2 by 3, and you can see here this 2, and what this is, sorry, this is just, so this is just a shorthand for this. Okay, so they this both do the same thing. I hope this is clear, this part is clear, and you have seen what I was meant to say when I was saying that the grid lines are very important. Okay, so this is the where the grid line scheme comes into plays its role. So now you know that grid lines, what is grid line considered as a grid line. This 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, these are the column lines and the row lines. So this is how you do. And there is another, so let's suppose um, we are going to try something like we are going to make a basic layout. Okay, let that layout be like header, footer, sidebar, header, sidebar, content 1, content 2, and footer. Okay, and currently should it is behaving like a normal grid. Header, sidebar, content 1, content 2, content 3, and this be the footer. Okay, sorry for the disturbance, which was, he was my brother. And okay, so where were we? And this is the what we are not supposed to achieve. Okay, and so coming to like header. So header being grade column, and consider it like a 1 2 3 4. We know 1 2 3 4, so it should be like 4 grade row, like it should be 1 and starting with a 2, and you can see the header. Okay, and let's style this sidebar. For this sidebar, let's the grade column be like from 1 to 2, and okay, and its row be like grade row be like from 2 to 4. It's like 1 2. Oops. It's like 2 to 5. Okay, I need to set the height also. The height should be like and um, need to set this also, and this should be like 120 px and 1 fr and 1 fr. Okay. Yes, 1 2 1 2 3 4. Okay, and let's be make this one 180 px, 1 fr, 1 fr, and like we should make it 100. It should be like it's looking very thin. No, it should be more than this. Let's like give it a 200. Sidebar should be like a 4. Okay, and content 3. Grade column be like 2 3, like it should be from 2 again 3, and you can see the content 1. I'm just explaining this. It was already positioned over here, wherever we wanted for this, and content is 3 by 4, I think. 3 by 4, yes, yes. The footer, the content 3 should be very wide, and content 3 grade column, like it should be 3 divided. No, it's not. No, no, not the 3. It should be 2, and grade uh, should be like 3 by 4. Okay, I know this is if you are watching this for the first time, it is going to very confusing. But once you grasp the what this columns and row means, and the line, what is the line, how the line works, okay, it's gonna be fine. So yes, like a footer for the footer, I think should we going to make a footer which would be like grade column should be like 1 to 4, um, grade it should be like 1 to 5, and you can see here, okay. Because these are all in the FR, so they are responsive, and this is in the pixel, so this area, okay. So this is what I mean by the layout. What uh, make it, let's make it smaller. Yes, and so if you are very clear about the grid lines, how grid line works, then you can, achieve this grid column and grid here. So again, there is also shorthand. We can consider it as shorthand for this, and which is grid template areas and grid area, okay. So for now, what we are going to do is grid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this all these styles, and you can see, as you can see, there is that it is back to normal again. And what I going to do is, like, I'm going to create template areas, and which should be header, 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 okay. Sidebar, content 1, content 2, again sidebar content 3 content 3 again it would be like footer. So with this syntax grid template areas we are just dividing these areas. Okay, so as you know the what area is, whenever four grid lines are forming a rectangular, so there then it is known as a grid area. Okay, so yes, and how we can see this is as a grid. So first of all we need to check this. Okay, this is normal. Okay, and grid area would be like header, and you can see okay this header is consistent to three place. Okay, because we have defined this header here, and same for grid area sidebar, and you can see sidebar is contained. Same you can think of content 1, content 2, content 3, footer, and this works very nicely. So this is just, and this is like more, this is more shortcut, means short, and you also don't need to worry about the grid column and grid row. So and also there is one thing you can what you can do is like you can name the grid lines, and with the help of these lines you can also achieve the this layout. So and you can see this layout is very, you know, the fragment part is behaving like it should behave. Okay, they are um, okay, remove this. So I'm going to just give one another example which is okay if you means which is also useful. It's like your for your convenient. Okay, just get off, we are getting rid of this always. Okay, so let's see our result. Okay, that's doing what it should do. And what we can do is we can name a line. So name start and sidebar start. So what this syntax is doing here is the main start and sidebar start. This is considered as a main start and a sidebar start. Okay, so whenever okay, just I think so. I think so. I'm like uh, con and start should be a content start, and then 3 start. It's not should be a content 3 start. It should be like this is content, this is main start and main end should be this, and the content 3 would be like it should be like content it should be content 3 start, and it should be content as a content start, and last would be main end, and content 3, and I think so we don't need also this sidebar start or this all. Okay, and for ATPX this will be row 1, row 2 start, row 3 start, row 4 starting. I'm just naming the lines which was earlier one known as a 1 2 3 4. So to row 4, then I don't think so we need this right here. So um, this is how we are going to have fun right now. Column. So this is like main start and you know main start and main end. Main end, and let's see. Yes. So are you getting what happened here right now? It's just like before it was 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just we have named the line. Okay, just in place of number we are using a name, and grade row would be like row 1 start and row to start. Okay, and this works well, very fine. Now we want sidebar to achieve this too. Like I have forgotten about this. Okay, we want sidebar to achieve these two cells here. Okay, these two cells, no, not cells. Okay, here. Now grade column for the sidebar would be like it would be like content 3 start. No, it's not like content 3 start. It will be main start and content 3 start. Okay, sorry about that. It be like main start and content 3 start. Grade row would be like row to start, and this will be like row 4 start. You know, yes, you can see here. Okay, and similarly for content 1 would be like content 3 start and content start, and grade area grade row be like grade sorry row uh, um, row, row 4 start. See the row 4 start now, sorry. Row 3 start, yes, and same for content 2. Just the change in is it will be like content start and main end. Yeah, content 3, how would be the content 3 design? It would be like content 3 start, sorry, and 3 start and row 3 row 3 start and row 4 start would be considered as its end. And you can see here, yes, it's working fine. Yes, and for the footer part, this would be like guess what, main start and main end. Okay, it would be like main start and main end, and it would be like row 4 start and row 4 end, sorry. Yes, I hope this is clear. What is going on here? It's just we are naming the line. Okay, just we are naming the line, and it depends upon totally upon you. Whatever suits you, whether it's naming line or using with the numbers itself or grade areas, and just go with the grid template areas. And I hope this tutorial have made your basic clear. So this is just a basic, and there is more in css grade, but we will deep dive in the next part. Okay, thank you for watching my tutorial, and just remember to if you like my content, just hit the like button and hit subscribe and share with your friends. Okay, thank you.